I've been a filmmaker for over 13 years now, traveling the world and making content for corporations, celebrities, and stories involving many cultures. Now, all of that has stopped as we are faced with a global pandemic.
Coronavirus.
To COVID-19. It's coronavirus.
Here in New York, the number of coronavirus
Social distancing measures until the government believes COVID-19 is under control.
Forced with having a stay-at-home order, I've decided to create a show that talks about professionals in their industry and how COVID-19 has impacted them. I hate being in front of the camera. I look rough and raw, but that's what this show is all about, keeping it real and in fact, keeping it a buck.
What do you mean you don't follow the news?
Sex doctor herself.
Hey! How are you?
Crypto, man, welcome to the show.
Yeah, bro, what's good, man?
One and only Shardell Moore. One and only Ricky Platinum.
Salute, my dad. Check in. If you ain't been doing your goddamn history in the past goddamn 10 years, I go by the name Tone people.
There's no doubt this coronavirus has changed everything, from washing hands, to wearing masks out in public, to where we go out to eat, to the economy dropping, and even how we interact with people. But one question that's being curious to know is, what about sex? There's no evidence that coronavirus spreads through a vaginal fluid or semen, but it can spread through saliva, respiratory droplets, and mucus. Christine Cropper, who runs an adult education podcast, gives her insight about this situation. Some questions that are asked are, what about sex with your sex partner? What about sex positions? Is kissing allowed? If you are single, what are your options? What is the general best practice? All this and more, and how this pandemic is affecting sex. I have the one and only, the sex doctor herself, Christine.
Hey! How are you?
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you doing?
Doing great, man. Look, I'm very excited for this episode because
Why is that?
well, because we talking about sex. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it real.
About sex, baby.
we talk about sex, and given the fact that we in COVID-19, we got a coronavirus. If you're not quarantined with a particular person or your loved one or whatever, you may have a situation on your hand. What do you do as a sex doctor?
I don't have an MD. I definitely make sure that on my show, Foreplay Matters, that I tell people that, mine is an educational, entertainment type of business. As far as, yes, I'm a member of the American Association of Sex Educators, Therapists, and Counselors. I am a member of that. I do have friends that are sex therapists. I know people that are sex therapists. And if you decide to do, and that's pretty much what someone says, a sex doctor, that's who they're normally looking to talk to as a sex therapist. So a sex therapist is someone that, of course, got their advanced degree, possibly in psychology or in counseling, and then they put in about 300 hours training under a licensed therapist, and then went and got their state license, as well as got their license from the American Association of Sex Educators, Counselors, and Therapists, and so forth, and become a therapist. So a lot of people that you hear as a sex doctor, most of them are clinical licensed therapists. Okay. Myself, I am not. I have a sex podcast. I've done set tantra classes. I am a tantra coach, and that is a tantra sex coach. But
what? Define that more in depth for people that don't know.
Well, pretty much Tantra is about sexuality and spirituality coming together. It's about channeling your energy. It's about love making. It doesn't involve intercourse. It's really more about the connection It's about taking your sexuality to a higher level or a higher place and creating a deeper connection with your partner.
How do someone go about their sexual desire in the state where you can't go nowhere? You ordered to stay inside in this coronavirus type of situation.
Well, I mean, the first thing is, I mean, hopefully you know how to self-pleasure yourself. So, so that's the first place that you can start. I mean, even though, I mean, you're assuming that you're quarantined or in isolation by yourself, right? So if you are, you know, you can make sure you clean your toys, clean your vibrators, clean your yoni eggs, clean your butt plugs if you have them, whatever.
Damn!
whatever it is that you have in your toy box or your toy bag, I call it your sex toy bag or your toy box or your drawer, or whatever it is that where you keep your toys. You know, make sure you clean them with a, you know, a warm, you know, soapy water, or you can use like a antibacterial toy cleaner that you normally can get at the toy store or whatever. This is a good time to get to know yourself. So at the end of the day, you know, if you're single, if you're by yourself, you know, with COVID and you got to do the whole social distance. Now, the other thing is, if you have a partner and maybe your partner doesn't live with you or so, but it's still social distance, and this is somebody that you're normally with and they're not around a whole lot of people, you can definitely, I would say, invite them over, you know, when they come through the door, make sure they take off their clothes. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, they're coming over for a house call. So have them take off their clothes, put them in the washing machine, wash their clothes. I mean, at least they're getting their laundry washed.
Okay, so time out. I got a question. So are you saying, right, if someone lives in another place than you do, right, and he or she comes over, it's still okay for y'all to have sex? He just got to take his clothes off and throw it in the wash?
Yeah, let me get into it. Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, now if it's somebody that you're not around on a regular basis, no, like keep your distance, you know. But if it's someone that your intimate partner, that you're pretty much, this is who you're with all the time, then I would say, and you've had conversation, they're not sick. Now, of course, if they have a fever or if they're coughing or sick, stay home.
Right, yeah. Nah.
However, the whole social distance thing doesn't necessarily, they're saying 10 people or less or 5 people or less, but at the end of the day, if this is your partner, then it just be 2 people, you and the other person, right? Mm-hmm. They're not sick. But if they come through the door, I mean, definitely have them take their clothes off, wash, put their clothes in the washing machine, hot water, wash the clothes, and then also run a nice bath. Face, everything, wash your body, do a nice bath, do a nice shower. So the whole thing is you're cleaning yourself, you know, so you're kind of like disinfecting yourself. And then, you know, as far as spray down everything with Lysol around, you know, because someone came in, if they have a bag or something, or they're bringing an overnight bag over or something, spray the bag with Lysol. And so that will definitely help you to kind of ease that anxiety, you know, of being outside and coming in, right? The first thing is, if you're afraid and you have anxiety and you want to stay in isolation, get to know yourself, masturbate, you know, do a pussy massage on yourself.
Time out. What is a pussy massage?
Massaging your pussy. No, pretty much get to know your pussy. Put a mirror down there, you know, put some lube on your hands, and or you can do some coconut oil, or you can do a nice aromatherapy type of oil or something that's not going to irritate you. And start to massage your pussy, you know, as far as your clit, your vagina, your vulva, the labia, like the area between your vagina and your anus, and or massage the outside of your anus, like massage your thighs, massage your butt cheeks, massage your breasts, your nipples. at the end of the day, like, get to know yourself. Like, and you never know, you might discover an area of your body that you didn't know actually turns you on. Because guess what? When it comes and Corona's gone, and then you might have discovered a new area, then you can articulate that to your partner and say, hey, baby, you know, I kind of discovered this during COVID-19. so now I want you to do this.
Oh, man.
This with your tongue, or I want you to do this with your hands, or I want you to do this with your penis or your vagina or whatever it is, you know. But the whole thing is, if you're by yourself and you're afraid to bring someone in, then my whole thing is get to know yourself. But if you do have a partner and they're not sick, they're pretty much kind of in isolation or in quarantine themselves, you are as well, and you trust that person, they do come over, then I will say, you know, when they come through the door, disinfect everything that they bring in, wash their clothes, invite them to do a shower or a bath. And that's very, you know, erotic, sensual. It's, you know, kind of gets you foreplay, gets you in the mood.
Tell me if it's going overboard, because I've heard in certain situations with couples, because like, let's say a dude, he has an essential job, so he has to go out every day and work. But when he come in order for him to have sex, he gotta have a mask on with his partner to have sex. Now, as a sex doctor, like, is it going too far, or like you really should have on a mask?
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's all in the comfort level of you and your partner. I mean, at the end of the day, it sounds like that person's partner may be having a little anxiety right now. So at the end of the day, I would say definitely communication is key in order to proceed forward with, because I mean, if you're having anxiety, I would say that's not sexy. That's not sexy with a mask on. Now, as far as if the person's showing those symptoms, and this is your partner that has an essential job, but they're coming back in, if they have no symptoms and this is who you're going to bed with every single night, then you shouldn't wear the mask. However, if they are showing the symptoms, then definitely make sure you self-quarantine. So hopefully there's other rooms. So now you have to separate yourself.
Right.
You know? So if the person's not showing any symptoms, yes. However, a lot of people have a lot of anxiety right now. So they're feeling like, oh, you may have the coronavirus, but you're showing no symptoms. So therefore, I'm taking extra precaution to make sure that I don't get it, right? So a couple of things: don't kiss. You know, like you can have sex, but maybe make sure that you're doing doggy style. So you're not bringing any exposure to your eyes, your nose, or your mouth.
Because now we constricted to just positions. Like, I can't do missionary. I can't.
You can't look me in my
Can't look you in the eye. I can't do the standing up. I can't hold you up.
You can hold me up. You can hold me up. Just my face will be on your shoulder. I just won't be in your face.
Okay.
You know, we can get creative now. I mean, that's the thing. This is a good time. We have a lot of time on our hands. So this is a good time to really play and have fun. So, you know, so at the end of the day, but if the person has anxiety and they're saying, well, baby, I need you to wear that mask, get creative with the mask or something, make it sexy.
Right.
Or role play or something, role play with the mask, right? Because at the end of the day, it's the comfort level. If your partner is feeling some anxiety and it's like, you know, they don't want to get it or whatever, but they do want to have sex. At least they do want to have sex. So some people are like, no, stay away. Right?
So here's a question for you. You got a couple that lives in two different houses, and all they have really is FaceTime. What do you say to that one partner that don't open up to you? Because it's been like 4 weeks now, and I ain't getting nothing. Like, show me something.
Well, I mean, the whole thing is you got to make sure you're just both comfortable. I mean, do a little audio intimacy, or if you're doing, like we're doing Zoom, or if you're on the phone, like maybe start with on the phone and do some dirty talk. We call it audio intimacy, right? So maybe like do a little bit of dirty talk and acting out to get her comfortable or him comfortable. Some people aren't comfortable with dirty talk, you know, like myself, even though I have Secret Society Life, my Instagram, and I have my show called Foreplay Matters, and my business is called La Sagesse Secret, even though I do this and talk about it all the time, I can dirty talk, but I actually, I get to the point I laugh, you know, because it's fun and laughter is good for the soul, but I get to the point I feel like I sound so corny, you know, that I start laughing, but that can create be an icebreaker and kind of ease the tension too. But I will say definitely maybe if the person's not comfortable with, you know, doing video sex, or, you know, she's not trying to sign up to be a webcam girl, maybe start with phone sex, or maybe start with sexting, you know, like talking dirty, texting, right?
Okay.
And then maybe sending a picture that way. And then gradually, you know, advance into Zoom, where, hey, you might come out of this making some money, you know? because believe me, video chat, video sex, audio intimacy, because some people don't want to come together. They want to isolate themselves. They want to quarantine themselves. So I'll say the webcam girls, the profits have gone up. The porn cases have gone up. Pornography cases have gone up. You know, the numbers are going up. People are watching porn, making porn.
I tell you this, there's gonna be a lot of quarantine babies in December. What?
Yes,
Gonna be a lot of quarantine babies.
My main takeaway right now is just stay safe and healthy.
Cool.
And have fun. Masturbate every day.
I appreciate you for coming on and schooling the viewers about sex and about what you could do during COVID-19.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right.